Okay, so Dylan Wisborg attacked me over 50 times before I ever went and hit back at her. Okay, so this is stuff she's done. And tried to literally offer a blowjob towards me, and it was on the astral plane. And when she did this, I said this in another video, but I've written all this stuff out now. Tried to shift how her face looked. She didn't ask for my consent, just full on wanted to see my dick. And was trying to like shift her hand, all this sort of stuff. I woke up like, holy shit, oh my god. And so yeah, that was one of the things where you're like, holy shit, no consent, nothing, just tried to do that. That's in there. Had her friend Monica Doolett, who manages Goodness Me in Hamilton, do dark witchcraft at me. Tarek Beebe, her coach, who is a drug dealer, she deals drugs with. It's her partner for drug dealing. She deals pounds of drugs every month, and he's her partner for it. He was doing dark magic, and tried to link people with witchcraft and dark magic, the stuff she does, and tried to get other people linked with Tarek. So Tarek links people in a pyramid on the astral plane, light workers, and so people are paying Tarek for coaching. Then he links them in a pyramid and then uses dark magic and dark reptilian energies for manifesting. And then he puts out audios that are corrupt audios. So people listen to these audios and they're corrupt. And she knows about this. I told her about it. And she still was trying to get more people involved, linked to it. And it would be using it to take advantage of light workers. She identifies as a narcissist. That came up. Took part in group attacks towards me. When I was in the middle of a group attack, she dumped on me. Dumped a bunch of stuff onto me. And I remember my head was ticking. I was fluttering, all this sort of stuff. Very abusive. So she's abusive sexually, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even has tried to hurt guys' sleep. Narc abuse stuff towards me that included Tarek, Monica, and Amber Colbert. So Amber Colbert, I actually said it psychically and told her specifically, like, look, she identifies as a narcissist. Amber still tried to pull stuff with her, and there was involvement from Monica Doolett and Tarek Beebe. So then that is other people involved in narcissistic abuse. Yeah. Attacked my parents psychically, did it right in front of me, and I made a video at one point. I posted that. Tried to link stuff to my parents' house. That's harm. She does imprints of abuse on some people. Narc witchcraft. Oh yeah, when I showed her picture to different light workers, one of which said, quote, I can see the evil in her. Yeah, she looked absolutely evil on her one website that she had. Looked evil. And when I was going and messaging a guy that she knows about abuse she pulled towards me, I hear psychically, tell him what type of abuse. As in, oh, is he going to believe you? Because it was how spiritually abusive she was. And she'd slept with the guy. So here it is. She tried to manipulate the guy and she'd already slept with him. She uses sex, manipulation, heart manipulation. So she will abuse people and then use Neville Goddard's revision. She would try and like trick people into partnerships or try to like use their energy, try to get them involved with Tarek. So, what did I say? Oh, get light workers to be used by Tarek Beebe in a pyramid on the astral plane. Yep. So Tarek, okay. So Tarek there with her dark reptilian energies, I picked up on that, and so did, I already told Amber Colbert, but she picked up on it too. Corrupt audios, and Tarek's a partner. 50% of Tarek's income comes from drug dealing. Tried to watch me sleep. She started that after I met up with her in Vancouver and how she acted there, which I wrote out fully in detail, so now people will fully hear, because I actually had to write it out. I want people to hear, so they understand. Patterns of abusing men. So how she acts with sexual energy. Hooks on the solar plex, heart manipulation, sacral manipulation, imprint spells, links, markers, black magic, dark witchcraft. She actually attacked me in the kitchen where her entire face kind of contorted and went really dark and evil, and then tried to throw hooks and like do dark witchcraft at your chest. Oh yeah, like seriously I want people to know, and I'll explain more if they see a picture of her when she wasn't looking in the evil. Why she has two souls in one body. So, and she hides her darkness. She actually tucks it behind herself. I've seen her do it cyclically. You'll see her cyclically, and then she'll like, "Oh, you're looking," and then she'll rework whatever she's putting on. So narcs wear masks. They wear a ton of masks. She reworks her energy and pushes it behind herself, and then tries to go, "Oh, do you like this? Do you like what you're seeing? Okay, how about this?" And then she puts on clothes and videos where they're brighter clothes she's been doing to try to hide it, but you can see the darkness, the shadow coming out of her in different ways in different videos. Okay. Tried to make things look non-consensual sexually when they were consensual psychically. So psychic sex stuff, she would put her hands up and try to open a window when there would be consensual psychic something sexually, and tried to show other women or show somebody of her having her hands up and making it look like something was non-consensual when it was consensual. Full consent, said, asked, all that sort of stuff to try to make guys look bad. Yeah, trying to use that. Conditioning. Sex to control men, heart manipulation stuff, sexual stuff, sacral manipulation. I said it before in another video, faces and even sounds. This I'll have to, it'd be like, like doing stuff. You're like, oh, that's cute, but for me, I go, wait a minute, she's conditioning. I could feel it right away, and even add like little sounds, like push at your back, like that. But then next, that turns into her trying to overstep somebody's boundaries, and she's trying to push something abusive, and then she's manipulating the guy's heart, and then she's doing that sound of pushing at their back, and she's fucking abusing the guy. Okay? So, conditioning. You ever see stuff where you see a woman, you pick up on it, she's trying to condition, to control, manipulate the guy, there's a reason, okay? Very sexually abusive. There was a post with Sarah. This was on account of Sarah Todd, a girl I helped before who was suicidal twice. I helped her. I was literally actually sleeping at Sarah's house so she could to help her, so she could sleep through the night when I moved back to Hamilton, to Ontario many years ago, and then left us there for a year. Helped her. She went through a bunch of spiritual warfare stuff, a bunch of stuff. Anyway, she was a friend of hers, and Sarah herself has been abused by two narcissists. But anyways, I went to go tell Sarah Todd what happened about Jillian and about Monica and about Amber Colbert, how they were acting. They got into her account and they lied, and I posted it, what they wrote, and directed it back. And we included stuff that was literally pretty much gaslighting of, and they knew that I'd been to a church about spiritual warfare, which they took part in towards me. They were part of the warfare. And they tried to throw that at me, and they threw in and they lied through the entire post. And the whole time when I read the post, Amber Colbert was shielding it, and it was three of them making up shit in a post. She even says like, oh, I don't believe what you said about those girls, this and that. All this. I was like, this isn't Sarah. She even spelled my name wrong. I've known her since I was a teenager. All this. I was like, this is fucking nuts. I even sent a video of like, Sarah, just so you know this happened, whatever. Quickly the count kind of dropped. It wasn't Sarah. Almost like a dark Lilith sort of energy I saw around her. So I don't know if I should mention it, but if you guys have seen Madonna, there was a picture of Madonna. She looked extremely dark. I might have to turn that light down. And it was how her hair was kind of braided. If she still has the picture up, Jillian has she has a picture. She has a video, or she has a picture on her one website. That's better. Where it's like the dark Lilith sort of energy. So she's gotten into dark witchcraft, and there was multiple pictures. Like, you look nuts. You just saw it like, oh god, like dark witch, like holy shit. She's not a witch. She's a fairy. Okay, she's a fairy. What I just said they're trying to review. I don't allow that. That was just her trying to tune in to actually find out fairy knowledge. I know. I had fairies actually just go and give me knowledge. Their nature of spirits. I was in nature, and they wanted me to know things. Anyways, yeah, that just happened. Surprise tries to put a darkness behind her, rework the energy, and it would be like when she reworked the energy, like, yeah, do you like how that looks? How about this? Like, oh, like, don't look at that, and she'd shift everything. Lighter clothes. Okay, there's that one. She would try to merge with and bully people. Tried to manipulate. Oh, wait. Yeah, using, abusing, and harming men. Yeah, like a pattern of it. Including like an ex of hers that should go on about like, oh no, there's someone with this ex of hers. She still needs to, oh, how's she doing? You know, there's something there that needs to like shift for her. And then you find out she pulled stuff with the guy. The guy broke up with her. There's a reason he broke up with her. Yeah. Every time you hear that with narcs playing a victim, you will find at some point a mask will drop in them, and then it will come out who they really are. And then you're like, and the empath will be like, but I wanted to help. Maybe they wanted to help, or they felt bad for the narc or something. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh my fucking God. Okay. She tried to make herself look like an abusive ex-girlfriend of mine at one point, using intention on posts. Tried to set. She tried to do links to people's heads to harm them. It felt like, oh, like the level of manipulation. So now that I got through those pages, I've got a bunch to describe what happened on the trip. I met up with her, so you fully understand that. So I might do that. Okay. Yeah. This marker is clear. Okay. So on the trip, it was on Vancouver Island. So I talked to her for months. I was supposed to meet up with her. And before that, she said, I feel like there's something between us, you know, let's meet up. And she said, okay, I'm going to meet up with, there's a friend that I'll meet up with, and we'll meet up. And she was going to stay over. It was at family members of mine at her place. I was going to be looking, watching for a bit out there. Okay. So anyways, so I meet up with her. She already slept with this other guy before we meet up. And I picked up on it psychically. I was walking along and I just see the psychic window. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? So already that's happened. And I went, oh great. Oh great. So we meet up. And the guy's all over in front of me. And I was like, oh, this is really weird. Oh great. Oh, but she's got to stay with me for a couple days. So we're driving, and then she shifts in the seat right beside me, feeling like she's a different person. Completely head to toe. Like I pick up on like a shift. Everything felt different, almost like mannerism. And I went, all right, like how she's saying everything. I was like, are you all right? And then she's like, it's just like women problems. And I'm thinking about how people act when they have multiple personalities, that the mannerism shift. I'm not saying she has that, but I went, oh God, like what's going on with her? Like it felt head to toe, different person. And I was like, oh God. She has two souls in one body. I picked up on it. Okay. So we go for a walk in the park out there. I want to show her around, and then we sit down, and her ancestors right away are like, hey, no, you're gonna tell her this. You're gonna tell her this stuff. And I was like, oh great. And her ancestors are just pissed off. They are not happy how she's living her life. They are just so angry with her. And I have to sit there and start telling her all this stuff the ancestors are saying. I was like, oh, great. So we go back to my family member's place, but we're about to walk in, and she turns and she's like, all I want is, and I just hear psychically, power, like that, power. And it jumps out. I was like, oh, great. What's she gonna be like? So we go in. She puts on a bathing suit and comes out of the washroom like in a bathing suit. Obviously, it's gonna be something like sleeping together. Okay. What she does is she stands there and starts talking about herself instead. As she starts standing there talking about herself, nice toned thighs, like a nice butt, and like grabbing her butt, rubbing her thighs, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm in the kitchen. She's just outside the washroom. I don't know, 10 feet ish, whatever, not too far away. But she's just talking about herself, and the energy. It's not like it's open, like come over to me. It's just like, just look at me, like in this bathing suit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, seriously. I'm like, it was all just about her and about like, oh, look how I look at my butt. And you're like, it wasn't like, is this going to turn you on? It was like, oh, it's super. Yeah. Anyways, like the level of like, you're like, okay, and this is after her in the power thing. Okay. And from that, she goes in and here, let me like give you a massage. Starts giving me a massage. And then middle of it goes, let's just keep our hands to ourselves. And I'm like, okay. And already I'm going, I'm not going to sleep with her. I know that she already slept with this other guy, what she pulled. But then she's sitting on the couch, I'm sitting on the ground, not like on the floor, and I'm looking at her talking, and I tell her how I felt. Okay, we've been talking for months. She bites down hard, swallows. I'm throwing this in there because I'm like, you know what? I want people to know exactly how she acted. Swallows hard to avoid saying how she felt. So it did like tilted her head and just like this. But she expands. The room gets really bright. Her energy expands, and she was really excited, and she was really trying hard not to smile. So it was telling me how she actually felt. I was like, okay. And then she gets up and she goes to the washroom and has a really loud crap or really loud shit intentionally. And I know that's like, you're cringing. I'll say crap. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like how she's acted. Like intentionally, you're hearing, and I'm like, oh my God. And then she walks out and says, you need a squatty potty. And I went, oh my God. And then we go and sleep. I tell her to sleep. I was pissed with how she was acting. And here, you can sleep on the couch. In the middle, right after, she goes, no, you shouldn't be like alone right now. And hops up, runs and hops into bed with me with all her clothes on, though, curls up in a ball on the other side of the bed. And we end up sleeping in that bed. That's how she acted. We go for a walk the next day. She ended up doing like, there was like stuff that came up that I picked up on that I told her during the walk. It was actually like two different nature areas we went to. Psychic tapped me that night. Did like a small psychic tap. Oh, serious. Like it's crazy. Like I want people to know, because there's how certain women act around their friends or other women, and then there's like, this is how fucking nuts some women are acting. This is how fucking nuts narcs are acting, and how men are getting treated, and it's fucking crazy. And I've got a bunch of different stuff to get in that I will be mentioning about certain people, because there's some women out there that are pretending like crazy, and then I'm like, here you go, guys. This is who they are. This is what they've done. This is how they acted. Now I want people to hear it. Okay. Where's the one? Oh, so she was only going to stay at the family member's house for a couple nights, I think 3 nights, and she was there for like 4 days. And I was specifically told like, hey, no, like I know you're gonna have somebody stay over. I'm only cool with them being there for like 3 days, a couple days. I think it was a couple days. So I said that, and so she ended up getting a B&B for the one night. She overspent her money, and then she was pissed that she couldn't get a good B&B, and it was with a family. So she was really pissed at me about that, and pissed off about that. But she overspent her own money, so she could only get a B&B. Honestly, it's a little funny because of how she's acting. But there is a family she had to stay with. Then when I was on the bus, just I don't know if I'll mention that, but how she was acting in between acting like this, there would be things like, so what was I so hung up about at a coffee shop looking at me and trying to like do one of these of like, and then flirt with you in there. But it was like, and then like I said, having a loud crap and acting nuts, find out she slept with that other guy, all this, and you're like, oh my God. And then we go to the airport where she was already kind of acting, pulling this stuff on the bus ride there, how she was acting. And then she starts crying and says, be well to me. And I'm like, what is going on? And afterwards, I was like, holy shit, like this? Not to her there, sorry, but like, holy crap. And I wasn't talking to her. And then she starts to try and watch. She tried, the one night I woke up and she was watching me sleep. Okay. Then she tried to put a bind on me at one point while I slept. And then she took part in that group attack. The one group attack I had where I at my family's house, all this sort of stuff. I already said in another video, she went on at one point to trying to mess with one of my family members' funerals. When I visited my one buddy in Kelowna, she actually tried to push something sexual at him and I. Where I was like, what the hell? And she merged with him, tried to merge with me, and even tried to manipulate one of his dreams. She literally she does stuff like this. She actually just does this, where she has gone so far into darkness, into her shadow, that it's just like, oh my God, why you act like that? But on top of that, she needs to be rewombed because she hasn't had the parenting. So you see crazy, the stuff you're seeing, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she just did that. She just acted like that. Oh my God, did you just seriously pull that? Like, yeah. So let's see. Yep, I think they said that. Uh, yeah, and she's a pattern of pulling stuff and abusing men. Wow, I got this in 20 minutes. Good. This isn't. I thought this was going to be an hour. Um. Oh, and then after she pulled stuff at my papa's funeral, and that was in Oakville, Ontario, in Burlington, Ontario. I went to a supplement store, and there she is projecting herself, looking super excited, super happy, like this love there of like, oh, the guy I like is here, he's near me, all this sort of stuff. And before that, I remember I was flying in for my papa's funeral, and I had her stuff about her trying to connect to me and Amber Colbert. Amber Colbert was trying to push psychic bullying almost at me, like, "What are you doing coming out here?" Because she took part in a group attack towards me, and she was worried. And then Jillian was also like, and I remember going, if I run into one of these two at that airport, I was pushing my dad in a wheelchair, okay? So he ended up having, he was in one at the airport because he had Parkinson's, so it was easier for him to walk in. And I just had this family member die, and I'm like, I swear to God, if I run into one of these people, it's not gonna, like at the airport, I swear to God, like rip right into them, sort of thing. And of like, literally was standing there. This is what happened at the funeral, okay? The guy that abused my cousin to the point of her having PTSD was right across from me, and his kids were there, her kids, so everyone had to be nice to that guy. And then my nanny was there, which was my papa's wife, so she was there. And then on top of that, there's Jillian projecting psychically, and then they're trying to, and I'm like, at that funeral, and then the two from Vancouver were also trying to do that. So that's one, two, three that pushed abuse at me, and then the one who abused my cousin right in front of me happening. So I want people to hear this stuff so they understand. I want them to hear the level of what this past like 4 years. Yeah, I want people to hear this. And then after her doing that, turned around, and then it was like, hey, like you're here and that sort of stuff. And I was like, so you would see stuff like that. Yeah. So this was already, like I said, how many pages of stuff there. So that's about her. I am going to do ones about other people. And I'm doing is I'm saying this is who they are, this is what they did, because it is. Because there's stuff that people need to hear. They need to hear how they acted. I'm trying to think about this if there's anything else with their oh, even oh man, like sexy abusive shit, how she is with men, yeah. The sexual energy darts, the hooks, the using, abusing men, manipulating men, and even men she loves. So the one ex of hers, oh yeah, she really loved him. She still fucked with him, still pulled stuff. The ex broke up with her. So there's, yeah, says to me, said something about that I had the light like Heath Ledger in me, and described an ex that abused me. There was a narcissist and like what she picked up on about, and then later she went on to pull what the stuff towards me, and I full on like literally had to come back for I had to check what my family dealt with, all this sort of stuff, and I mean, yeah, it just, yeah. And including when I said the thing about the conditioning, people need to know about that. I can pick up on it very easy, and there's multiple guys I picked up on that she was just like this with. So how I've seen stuff with her, and I'll talk about this with Amber Cooper there too, and how certain women are pulling stuff. Maybe a conditioning, manipulation, maybe something psychically, sexually, manipulation of the heart chakra, the sacral chakra, and then maybe even this is another part that's fucked, sending energy or knowing how to work with energy a bit. So she has her level 2 Reiki, and like plays around with being a fairy, she's a fairy, and then witchcraft to manage the guy, manipulate him, and mess with him after or during abusing the person. So imagine, this is what I mean. They're manipulating the heart, trying to connect them sexually, maybe even merge with them, spells, sacral, markers, imprints, links, all this sort of stuff. And then I'm like, oh man, the person's been abused, and then they're trying to use Neville Goddard revision to revise what they did. And then it would be some sort of, or even conditioning, and wanting the person to tolerate it, and literally just, and then she would turn around and try to use and abuse the guys, and even trying to like trick them into a partnership or something, where try to use their energy. Oh, like, so that's about 25 minutes. So yeah, I'll add this one on there.